Today, we're gonna be playing with some slime. We're gonna be reviewing some Peachy Bbies slime. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you're probably like, whoa, why are we reviewing products now? Well, weren't we talking about human-centered marketing? Yes, we definitely are, because Peachy Bbies is actually a slime shop that is based out of Austin, originally started in Florida, and they are very good in the way that they talk about human-centered marketing. They are very transparent in the way they talk about their business through TikTok, through Instagram, even to the point where they got endorsed by Kim Kardashian for free. A lot of people assume that they are, because they have 1 million followers, that they are this big business that has the bank and the dollars to be able to have someone as big as Kim Kardashian sponsor them. But the reality is that they actually just did a really good job creating good products that Kim Kardashian, as a fellow human being, even though she's an original influencer, was really excited in the product. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is what is the difference between a small, mid-sized business and an actual business? Is it follower count? Is it the amount of employees, or is it dollar amounts and revenue? We're going to be diving in, and how does that show up when it comes to human-centered marketing for you when you're a small to mid-sized business, and then how to be able to be transparent. So I will be talking about the different things as we play around with some slime. I want you to know that they have done so well that they drop every Friday and it sells out in 10 minutes. So I had to set a timer, but I'm such a happy bean. Look how cute this is. Yeah. So a lot of these, they do small batch productions of different styles, which honestly, in my opinion, is pretty eco-friendly. They gave me this. Oh my God, this smells amazing. I'm just gonna dude, this is even better of a squeeze. It's like an even better squeeze. Can you tell that I don't do reaction videos except to food? So, excuse me. It smells amazing. It smells like berries. Really good. This came for free. It did not include, but we have, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things of slime that comes with it. It also includes an activator pen, which it's like sticky spray, so I'm assuming it's if it you use it again and again, you can reactivate it. That is my understanding. So I have not opened these. I've gotten them 4 weeks ago. Can we just appreciate this packaging real quickly here? It literally says you can never have enough slime. They are very aware it's a capsule collection, style vibes, and I'm obsessed. Anyway, alrighty, so let me show you some of these different scents of slimes that we have. The first one that we have is Witching Hour. It looks amazing and so fun. It smells very berry delicious. It has a lot of glitter. And then the next one is Cactus Cooler Crunch, a very refreshing scent of watermelon is what comes to mind, and it's pretty refreshing and awesome. And then the next one that we have is Cosmic Float, which doesn't quite have a smell. A little bit more on the berry side is what it also smells like that I see. And then we have the next one, which is the De-Stress Dough, and this one doesn't quite have a smell. A hint of lavender is what I smell in it. And then the next one that we have is the Baby Axolotl. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. This smells so fun. It's very sweet watermelon candy, which is different than the Cactus Cooler one. The Cactus Cooler was more a refreshing cucumber watermelon, which is really nice. And then last but not least, we have Northern Lights, which doesn't quite have a smell. It's more of a clear jelly vibe in it, but it looks so cool, and I can't wait to poke around with the different jellies that are in there. Now, the first one that I have that we're going to play with is Witching Hour, and I'm quite excited about this. This definitely has like a very thick dough-like consistency. Let me see if I can get you to hear this. And it's just like this really nice doughy, it's more like Play-Doh consistency than like what I normally think of when I think of slime, and I really love it. It smells delicious. It's like Christmas holiday vibes. I know this is supposed to be Halloween themed when this came out, but I'm kind of obsessed. Love the glitter, love the little bits and pieces. I think this is like an overall very good start of like the different types of like of the slimes that are out there, and it's really cool. It's lots of fun to play with. Your hand does get completely covered with glitter along the way, but we're okay with this. So the next one that we have is the Cactus Cooler Crutch, and I am so excited for this. Like, this is like super crunch. I mean, like, do you hear that? Just listen to that crunch. It is so cool. I'm obsessed. It was a little sticky when I first got it out because I didn't realize that you had to like activate it. So as you can see, as I'm pulling stuff out, I'm like very confused with the activation. You could see it, but it was so cool and how it blended. It really blended to this like really cool, like light lemonade pink. And I think now that I actually continuously smell it, it smells very lemonade-y. As you can hear me just like, you know, do that. And this is definitely very satisfying. Like, listen to this. How cool is that, right? And so this is definitely a super fun one. Once I got it to be like get activated, you could tell if you watch, I've been spraying a lot on that activator pen. Guys, after all 6 slimes, I used up the activator pen. They weren't joking about storing it in a cool area. So, and now that I'm playing with it again after it's been activated and it's cooled down in my house, it's definitely like stored a lot better. Okay, so the next one is De-Stress Dough, and it is so fun. It doesn't give a lot of smell because it just smells like lavender. But as you can see, it's very, very cool. It comes with like these little sprinkles that you have that I put in, and oh my goodness, guys, the consistency of this is amazing. A cute, adorable bunny that's there, and then you also have a cute little cloud. The others, but this is definitely the fluffiest of them all, and I'm really obsessed with it. And I think this is definitely in my top ones because of how nice and soft it is. It definitely lasts really well for next day, and it has a long-term consistency of them, and I'm really obsessed with it. So while we're playing with some slime, let's talk about how this relates to business. And the first question is, what is considered a small business? Is it followers, revenue, or the number of people that work for you? And most people assume that if you have over 1 million followers, you must be a large company. However, according to the US Census Bureau, it actually defines a small business between or below a revenue of about 1 million to 40 million, and by employment from 100 employees to over 1,500 employees. And a lot of y'all might be thinking, oh my God, 1 to 40 million sounds like a really large range for a small business. But if you consider it by industry type, like construction or roofing or energy that deals in millions of dollars, that amount can actually really add up very quickly. And it's also important to note that it's by number of employees and revenue growth. If you are over on either type, you may be considered no longer a small business. And how does this relate to Peachy Bbies as we're playing with the slime? Most people assume that because Peachy Bbies is over 1 million followers, and let's say if the average order is 4 slimes at $15 a slime, they must be revenuing at $60 million, which pushes them outside of the small business realm. But that's not exactly true, and there's two reasons. The first one is stated in their video where they employ less than 100 employees, and two, not every follower will actually purchase the product. In fact, as a marketer, I could tell you that normally businesses should be expecting about a 10% conversion rate from their social media platform in a single year. So what that means is really out of that 1 million followers, we're expecting about 100,000 active consumers purchasing. And if we use the average purchase order of those 4 slimes at $15 a pop, that means that they're really earning about 4.5 million revenue per year. Now, this number is purely based on assumptions. I obviously don't have that data in front of me. It is also by revenue. Profits are a totally different story. Just because a company can make millions in revenue if they have higher costs of goods or overhead, then that means that it's not sustainable. But I digress. At the end of the day, we can't judge a book by its cover just because it has over 1 million followers. But really the true number to look at is engagement rate and impressions on their brand awareness from like a branded hashtag perspective. The next one is the Cosmic Float. And this one is so cool as it like fades in together. It definitely blends so cool and so well. And I think it also has glow in the dark beads into it. It smells like it's very sweet. It reminds me of like a berry Jolly Rancher smell vibes. And it's just it has a doughier consistency. I think this has a more like traditional slime compared to the others vibes, but is so like thick and fun and doughy. So what is the correct expectation that we should have as consumers in regarding to what a small business is? A lot of people assume that a small business is a mom or pop or like a single Etsy creator or a small agency. But based on the US data, most of the businesses that operate in the United States are small business. In fact, according to the US Chamber, there are 31.7 million small businesses in America, which combined accounts for about 99.9% of all US businesses. And small businesses accredit for up to 2/3 of the net new jobs created since 2000 and employ roughly half of America's private sector workforce. So what that means is that small businesses, guys, are where it's at. When we talk about this fear of like a recession and that it is all about related to large corporations laying off people and financial institutions, at the end of the day, those are attention-grabbing headlines, and the real piece that keeps our economy alive are small businesses. So next we have Northern Lights, and it is really beautiful to look at with like little jelly beads things in it. And so this is the only one that doesn't have a smell out of them, but oh my God, when you just squish it, it just like, this one is the most like slime jelly like vibe consistency. It's still really cool, especially with like the little cubes in it that actually creates like little extra air bubbles. And it's like I said earlier, that the majority of businesses out there are small businesses, and that also means that we don't have the same marketing power as big corporations out there. So how do small businesses and mid-sized businesses compete against large corporations when it comes to marketing? And that is showing the human being behind your brand. Take Peachy Bbies, for example. This is why we're talking about them and playing with their slime. Yes, they're in an industry that is actually one of the kings of content creation. I mean, we're talking about slime videos, kinetic sand. By default of their category, they satisfy the entertainment and creative cravings that we as their audience is looking for. Plus, they take it to the next level. They actually have a lot of good content, like showing the creators on their team who are creating these innovative slime mixtures known as the content team. And they, like, you know them by name, you watch them compete against each other. And then you also have the business owner herself talking about her story, what they value, how they grew their business. And they're even willing to throw a little bit of sass around by doing videos overlaying audio of crazy customer service messages that that they get. And yeah, they're even willing to go that route because again, they're human. It's part of their brand voice. And why does this all matter? It's that when you show the human being behind the brand, they go from a faceless corporate machine into a human being. And what that means is that the expectations that we have changes because we now have a human being that we can relate to, build rapport to, and that we actually see that's serving us, and that changes our expectations. So next we have baby axolotl. Axolotl, if I can pronounce it correctly. I apologize for those that don't know, but they are the cutest little things and it's so adorable. But oh my God, the crunch, guys, just like, yes, love a good crunch. It smells like candied watermelon and it is super cool in consistency as I just like continuously press this in the background. Yeah, I'm going in and playing with slime as we're talking, so you're gonna just keep hearing it. It's super fun and crunchy. So overall, pretty fun and overall a pretty fun, satisfying, crunchy experience with this. Plus you just get a little cute little baby axolotl that you get to just play with the whole entire time, and it's quite fun. Now, what does all of this mean as we get towards the end of this video? You heard me talk about what counts as a small business, how as marketers we can amplify the small business without competing against the big budgets of mega brands through showing really good, authentic, human-centered content. But what can we, you and I, as a fellow consumer, do to support a small business? Like, they're literally the fuel of our economy. How can we help support them and show that the demand is where these small businesses are and not in super large corporations? It's about putting our dollars and our time behind it. And that starts with this holiday shopping season that's coming up. It's super easy to judge a book by its cover and assume that if you have 1 million followers, you're this mega brand. But like I talked about earlier, not all businesses are mega corporations that are faceless. So it's about you guys doing the research and learning more. Go on their social media, read their testimonials. And here's the thing, guys. Sometimes when it comes to restaurants and super small mom and pop shops, they actually may not have a social media presence because they literally don't care or have the bandwidth to, but they're actually location tagged by, you heard it, word of mouth, user generated content, and that's how you can learn more about them. If you see a brand that you really like and you can't afford it, ask your family to add it to your gift list. But most importantly, share their story. It's absolutely free for us to do, and it's the most powerful thing that you can do for them. Share their story, share their content, keep supporting them. That like button and you commenting in that thread may seem very superfluous to you, but it is the most powerful thing for them. It lets them know that you care, and that is something that you can do again and again, and it means the world because you're helping them expand their brand awareness through the most powerful form of marketing, word of mouth, and that is something that money cannot buy. All right, so what are my final thoughts as it comes into this? Well, I think slime is really cool. It may not be for me. Definitely the crunch ones, once I got it to activate, was like the most satisfying. I would also say Northern Lights is also one of my favorites here. But honestly, I just really like the llama. It's mess-free, smells delicious, and it's really good. I will say that Kim Kardashian is right. It's really good slime. Like, de-stressed dough was like dough. Like, if you make like good bread dough, it has like that fluffiness consistency, which is really nice. You also, like, the crunch ones are really fun. The witching hour is really cool. It's really like mesmerizing and de-stressing, and I hope that you got a chance to enjoy that while we were talking about small businesses and what it is. I think at the end of the day, no matter what size of business you are, whether you have 100 followers or 1 million followers, it's about doing good work, whether it's a product or service that will naturally get you the word of mouth endorsement. For every one big person that endorses us, there are thousands of amazing customers that are here to stay with us and continue to purchase from us. And I think that Peachy Bbies have done that really well. So these are bought obviously with my own money. I was not endorsed to do a review on this, but it was a really fun time to get to give a shout out to a business that is doing really good human-centered marketing. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to go check out Peachy Bbies if you want to. I will link them down below. If you enjoyed this type of video, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, goodbye.